Hey friends, we are looking at the Insoon medieval clock tower. This is Insoon set number SC8828 with 1,566 pieces. And I want to thank my friend Davey O for building this for me. He did it quite quickly, and it even has a light kit in it. So we'll take a look at the light kit. We'll look at the exterior, and we'll look at, there's one function that it does as well. So we'll take a look at all of those things, and we'll zoom in and go floor by floor and get a better look at this set. All right. Starting on the ground floor, you immediately see that we have this really big gate, and the gate has two lights that are on each of these brick-built pillars, and you can see that they've used unusual colors to build that up. The chain that keeps it locked is a chromed kind of finish to it. So you could open those up if you like. And then there's no other protection around it, so you could just walk around the gate if you wanted to get to this medieval tower. There are lots of floral elements, some animals like this bunny, this like brick-built sunflower here, and then you can see that we've got a mushroom and the start of this tree. The tree is an interesting build. It has lots of oranges and a bright yellow-orange going up, and it's a very kind of a plain build, but it works. It's just enough of a tree to be ornate and just be interesting enough for the rest of that landscaping and the exterior. Around the front here, we have lots of gold. There were a lot of gold pieces. If you watch my unboxing, you'll see there were tons of gold, and they use it to good effect. It's generously used everywhere. And so here's another animal here. It's a dog, and then over here we've got this little chicken. Some stonework here, and these are printed pieces. All the decorations throughout this set are prints, which are really nice. And then more floral elements here, a post with another lamp and an owl, another squirrel there, or maybe this is our first squirrel. There are just lots of animals and more plants all the way around. And then there is this book in here too. And the book is like a magic spell book. And inside they just have this one little 1x1 with the clip, and that's what's held in place. And it's all attached to this red snake there. So I'm not sure what the story is behind that. And then there is this bench. I did notice that the brown for this bench doesn't match the brown for the trees. In fact, it's a kind of almost a washed out brown that looks a little more, I don't know, it's unpleasant. Let's just say that. It's an unpleasant color. Another mushroom, nice little blue bird, and it's got a printed eye, printed beak. And then you can kind of see into the inside a little bit as well. And we'll lower the camera, we'll take a better look at the inside. Here with things lower, you can see, a little bit more like minifig scale. That's a minifig scale. And we've got a brick-built door, which is unusual. So it opens up nice and thick, but doesn't completely open because it's blocked by the book over here. And what's blocking it over here? It's the structure down there. It's not that dog, but the structure is blocking it. And the first thing you're seeing actually is the bed. And this is the I don't know, the head of the bed, and it's kind of made to look like it's made out of wood. Strange thing to enter into is the bed, but here's a better view, right, of the bed, and it's got a checkerboard pattern to the blanket on top of it, and then it has this chest with some, I think this is a book, and then it's also got a like a staff in there as well. And let's get that book out of there. It's gold, so it's worth pointing out. So here's this gold book. Nice print on it. Look at that. And then opening it up, it's got just a blank page on the inside, but it's gold on all sides. So it's really nice spray. I think that's probably spray painted. And you can see with the bed, it also has wood for the foot of the bed too, for these posts, and there's these little twig pieces. And then to get to the, and then also in the corner there, let's see, how do we get to it? You can see that there's a like a teapot and a candle on a small table there. To get to the next floor, you take this ladder, so you walk up that ladder. Walking up the ladder, it now gets you to this, railing area, and now you can greet the cat, and you have another stair, another ladder here, and there's just a little bit of room around it, but not really much. And there is this pendulum as well, and there were lights down here. So the first floor has a light. It is a 1x6, which is rare, a 1x6 plate, LED plate. And this floor has a 1x4 LED plate. And then the floor above also has a 1x4 LED plate. And all of that is powered from a 2x4 battery box. And that battery box is hidden into the build right here. So that's the switch for it. And the 2x4 lays across. So if we go and we shut that off, you can see the lights shut off too. So I'm going to turn it off. Boom. It's off, and then turn it back on. So that's a nice integration of it, and it's not so deeply buried that it would be impossible to get out. It's not the best place to get it out, but you can get it out to replace that battery if you really need to. And it comes with batteries, by the way. All right, and then on that second floor, you saw that pendulum, and the pendulum can be turned using this action feature. So there's this gear here, and as I turn it, it has just enough motion to make it swing, and it's kind of swings back and forth too. It's nicely done, the way they've handled that. So it lets it have a little bit of gravity to just free float. So it is actually a free floating pendulum in there. And you see all those extra gears. What that's doing is actually turning the clock. So on this other side, we see that there is a clock with those hands. And I'm going counterclockwise. Let's go clockwise. So we'll go clockwise, and you can see the time is changing. And I'll give you the joke about clocks. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. And so this clock is right twice a day. And as you can see, that it's not, the hour and the minute hands don't move independently. And these are gold pieces that are, I think they're used as like socket wrenches in most other sets. And then of course this dial, or the clock face, is a printed piece. Nice design for the windows on that outside as well. And then here, nice design there. And they've added some gears just to be a little bit more decorative. More of the same along the outside here, but look at that. They've got that little hidden like cupcake in there just to add a little bit of more detail. I love the colors. The sand green is a good color to use for this. The white and sand green really sell that it's a little more fancy. And then I do like the way that the tree just sort of shades this part of the build. And so now we're looking into the actual tower at the very top. For the tower, it does have a bell that's gold, and it's I think that's a flower piece actually that they've made gold. And I like the additional use of gold here. I think this is a thin fender piece that they've put there. A couple of things to suggest railing, and they have done the sort of forced perspective thing where everything up here is a little bit tinier and smaller. They've used these bottles to stand in for columns, and everything gets a little bit smaller. So that's a clever use of parts to just sell that this is, kind of higher up. I like that gold gear there. And then if we go all the way to the top, you'll see that they have a gold sword piece clipped right into a gold stud. And then these, I'm not sure what, are they wand pieces? I think that's what those are. They may be like Harry Potter wands clipped into 1x1 studs with an opening on the top. All right, so overall, I think this is a successful model. It doesn't come with any minifigs, but it's easy to add your own, and there's a lot of places to place them, and you can see yourself positioning figures in many different places. The lighting is well done, so it's put in just the right spots to light it up and give you that feeling where it comes alive. There's maybe too many flowers, I think, in the front. They added a lot of botanical just for the sake of botanical. Same with the animals. They added a lot of animals just for the sake of adding animals. So they could have pared back on the animals, and I think it would have still looked pretty good. And there's these like brown stakes that they have in multiple places. I'm not sure what those are supposed to be. The structure itself is really well done. I really like the colors. I like the choices that they made there. And I think if you were to get the stead, I think you'd enjoy it. All right, so there you go. That's my look at it. Like the video if you like it, and hit subscribe if you haven't. There's like 85% of you who have not subscribed, so please do that. And you'll be the first to know when I have new sets up to share. All right, thanks so much.